Last week we mentioned that the Psalms are not just songs of praise. Some of them, like Psalm 1, are instruction, wisdom psalms. But Psalm 2 is a prophetic psalm. I don't really go in for favourite psalms, but this has to be one of the highlights of the whole book, because it's giving us a display of how things really stand. Behind the scenes, it gives insights into the battle of the ages. The nations are taking a stand against the Lord. They're counselling, they're plotting, and they're raging, and there's anger, and there's malice against God. But God is not disturbed by this. He who sits in the heavens laughs, the psalm says. It's not a joke. It's that God finds the attempts of puny men and even of principalities and powers to overthrow his rule just laughable. It's impossible. God is God. He's the sovereign Lord of the ages. But of course, the reason this psalm is so important for us is it is prophetic. It does open our eyes to see beyond how things appear to the non-Christian, to the person without the scriptures and without the Spirit. But we're often actually watching the same screens, reading the same newspapers, getting the same kind of line of understanding that swirls around as we talk about current events and apprehensions about the future. The Bible gives us this insight. It tells us that God is on his throne and he has appointed his king. The Messiah here is Jesus. Originally, it was probably relating to David in the way that David, the anointed king, was experiencing the onslaught of surrounding nations. But God was going to give him victory and establish his kingdom. But it was always a picture of the greater David with the greater king and the greater kingdom that was coming to rule and to reign forever and ever. And so these plots and schemes of men in the end will be dashed to the ground, but the Lord will establish his kingdom. And therefore, this has given confidence to the church whenever they've been through periods of hardship. Jesus said there will be wars and rumours of wars. That's another prophetic insight. It's telling us what life in this current age is going to be like. But there is an end to it all. The battle is not forever. The Lord will be victorious. And in the end, you will break them with a rod of iron and dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. And the nations are summoned. The leaders of the nations, whoever they are, whatever empires they govern, they're to take note of the Lord. And they are to come and pay homage to him, lest he be angry with you and you perish in the way. For his wrath is quickly kindled. Blessed are all those who take refuge in him. In history, the nations that have taken refuge in the Lord, and our nation, thank God, has found great refuge in the past in the Lord. Those nations are the ones that prosper and are blessed. Let our nation, let the nations of the world look to him, God's anointed Messiah. Hallelujah. He reigns.